Much. I ain't getting on that, man. Made me stay late for a stupid ass meeting, man. I give two shits. No shits about. I'll never give a shit about. No shits about. I said, came home late. Trey caught me, that's bad enough, so I had to take another route home. I may as well stay up. Oh, wow. I get to do this. My issue. And I'm loving it. Well, this is boring as hell. Like this meeting, at least it's going to be shortened to the point. Watch me. Get out of here, those little pervert. Oh, oh, you.
And welcome to K100 with Conan and Disco. You need to know the downloads and you have to pound of Iranian tobacco later. We're not chopping it up on TV.
Nobody.
Show is going to take brand new questions from the listener mail.
No.
Discussions including the Rich Paul situation,
Oh, son.
Donald Trump and the Syrian president, and the best players in NBA history. Plus, Harry Ruiz returns with a Lucha Libre segment. He's going to discuss upcoming AAA events, the Good Brothers in Mexico, and what is Andrade's status as far as working in the USA and elsewhere. All this plus an AEW Dynamite.
Read it yesterday.
Top 5 of the week. So much more. Now, without further delay, let's hand it off to the master of the verbal gems, Conan.
Yo, we're back. We're keeping it 100. We're back like we never left. Let's start off the show like we always do, the shout-outs. If I butcher your name or city, too bad it's Iranian tobacco accent. We keeping it 1 thou wow. Jack Greeny, Balbriggan County, Dublin, Ireland. Tom King, Pacific Islands. Lord Elder Emo, or Emo, Wales. Pepas, San Diego, Paradise Hills. YT Rolly, Viva Beast. And you can find him on YouTube under Rolly Viva Beast. Only Band 2830, Chicago, Aroma Hennis, Baldwin Park, California, from Florida,
Oh.
Elegance, Dash, from Impact,
Look, I found some players. I found some players.
Hillbilly Digital, originally from Orlando, now in Tallahassee, Florida. Jay Sanchez and his dad from Uvalde, Texas.
Damn it.
Cinnamon Ace Baba, New York. Scott, Chicago. Certified Hustler, St. Louis. Christopher Steve, originally from Chicago, now in Seattle. Ara 2K, Chicago. Chris Castillo, New York City. Musical Maniac, Dallas. Jeremy Jones, Athens, Alabama. Matt D, Washington, D.C. Chris Reynolds, Las Vegas. Nito, Indio, California. Samson the Goat, Rochester, New York. Kevin Grace, Philly. Justin Wilson, Key West, Florida. Double Doink, Cranford, New Jersey. Devil, Waterloo, Iowa, the birthplace of NWA. A Falling Brick, Eden, North Carolina. C-Dot,
All right.
Los Angeles. Michaela, Shai, O'Shea, Kentucky. Shout out to longtime listeners Pat Settle and his wife, Pat's son-in-law, Chris Starver, and grandson, 7. They're selling sports cars on Whatnot under Daddy Home Breaks. Mention the show for a discount. Larry Waddle from Texas.
All right, let's get this shit done, y'all.
Doing the show using our good friend Sam Adonis Beef Soup, Milwaukee. We got a Patreon member this week, Don Orca from Glendale, Arizona. These are paid YouTube members. I want to thank you for your
Just
support.
like some
Russell Campbell,
yeah,
Ben
past
Stiller,
before.
yes, Ben Stiller. Okay. Ice Entertainment, Ice Wall Open, Eric Rollins, All Apologies Podcast. There are officially over 6,000 videos on the 2100 YouTube channel and approaching 200 completely uncensored bonus videos for YouTube users. Thank you for your support. Keep us employed. This includes a private chat room between girls. Shows zero advertising interruptions.
I thought it was made in the USA. People like you, people like you. People like playing hundreds the most used former televisions of that time. It's interesting to listen to this show. Intelligent people who care about their health and performance with tech fellows like Jeff Beckman, or Foster and Booster, and all the Recovery PMC page. I use these products myself, and so does my wife, Hall of Famer Mickey James, as well as a bunch of your favorite wrestlers. Try our stuff now at LegacyShops.com, at LegacySQTF.com, and use code K100 for 10% off and support this podcast.
Welcome to Madison, Pennsylvania, Jack Blackheart. The topic is Rich Holland. Hey guys, what about the Rich Holland situation? Where you might have to look this up as well. My favorite part is Matt King versus 60 Matt King purchasing the team with donated on Mad Forward and Rich King now to be unaware to go funding or we donated some charity days ago. So this took a turn where Rich had to come on and basically say, I didn't split up to go funding.
Right.
Somebody else did, but so everybody that was
Waiting on them for having to go funding.
I think so, but you watch
I don't know. Just remember, I just want you to remember that I was in the hospital.
Yeah,
So I don't even
Take
know.
this thing.
okay, Louis,
Yeah.
I have to go in. So watch here,
So we talked about Rich Holland last week. Yeah, about not paying his mortgage or whatever, right?
and the thing was like, how on earth has been like, I don't think he's been touched yet, like not getting paid. Oh, you didn't touch his mortgage already? They're okay. So it's other people will enter in that.
Right.
Okay? So, let me see here. If I can find the screen. So, okay, so the next thing, figured out, so, Rod Steers, the dude, I can't remember the last dollar that I made was dependent on my foot. Like, so Tony would say, why can't this college work if he's got a hurt foot? And people say, how can you work with a hurt foot? And he's like, with Rod Steers, he was saying, like, this is ridiculous that Matt Coon is like, not Matt Coon, but Rich Holland's acting for him, right? Before he found out that he was, he didn't, he was in the charge to go from it, right? So, dude, give him the last dollar I made it depend on my foot. But in Matt Coon says, I would say that puts you out of step with many Americans, including professional wrestlers like Rich Holland. Okay, but I had a tweet on this, and like this Rod Jimmy quoting that said, I've never seen a guy generate so much sympathy over losing 11 days of pay and having been 6 figures for years. Right? So I did actually Rich Holland. He's not in America. Okay. So all the coaches, sticklers that were trying to make them easy, they always like absolute imbeciles this. Yeah, she got like,
So Coon was in that one.
yeah,
So when you commented, what were people commenting to you generally? You're a dick,
I say to no, let me see.
or you're right? Give me like 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah, well, there's only 4 promises because I didn't
Okay, then give me the 4.
facts.
Right,
First said,
right.
and nobody said he was. That's definitely cut to employees, even contractors who have treated employees have rights.
Right.
Somebody said, I got laid off because what I did, I got another job. I make the people who might be off there, I made a mistake. Get off your ass, do this. And somebody else said, give me back, I said, I don't really, everything was good for the whole, and it's not going to have this thing for the, yeah, so he's the guy that thinks that, I don't think he's dead.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so everybody hated him then.
Right.
Now they left because somebody studied him and he said he had his word was out to the 24th.
Right.
With people like me and Rod, others would go, like, how can you know what's your religion? And the first question is yes. Because it was way above the news and we found out. We found out the religion that like, yes, this guy's like over the government.
Right.
So that's a good authority. Yeah. So next is from Edmonton Manning, A, the top of Adam Corona, Gentlemen, I'm reaching up for the Adam Corona Topic Group. Adam is expected to stay in touch with the That's what people didn't really see. Because they both have really pretty great. You just had a version of the place where you play Gavin places to play events for the NPR and play Gavin. If you look at residential perception of the conversation differently, I'm curious if one would say the six things in argument aren't getting the proper respect about positional demographic who will funny. The certain part of the pitch that's around administrative. That's good. That's the issue thing.
I thought I started going down this road. It's just I thought, you know, my conversation with Gavin Newsom is insane to me. And I realize people get my voice and they get his voice and they don't respond. But I'm trying to put it up. I see if I go with Gavin Newsom, but if they were just reading, like really just actually transcribe
Every fun.
it's insane.
You were having
Read. And then I was different. Let's get rid of my voice.
And Daniel, hello to you. Cheers.
This interview. And just mention the theory. And let's hear what that sounds like. But then even if that whole Reynolds thing, Billy did. I mean, look at this picture. And then it's just the state of Florida embroidered on his hat. That's what that is? Yeah, he's the guy with that up here. I know he's a Florida guy that in this movie is Georgia smoking hat. But anyway, sit down. But I never noticed that Florida hat. Across the board, all associations.
So everybody is struggling?
Everybody is struggling.
So Asians are suffering just as much as blacks?
The face of world is not an African American thing.
Oh, so it's Asian, Jewish, Muslim? Okay, there's no struggle.
A lot of us struggle.
Okay.
I have African Americans in the first country. Yes, I have, but with me, I don't know. We have checking machine or an ATM, things we take for granted. They don't have a checking machine.
What's wrong with them?
Well, because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Why do we have them?
A lot of different reasons, but roughly half those families don't.
Why do Armenians have them?
But where they end up is a quick question for this.
But I want to know, why those groups? Why do those two groups not have access?
It happens to be that we can talk about.
Are they flawed?
No, they're hardly flawed, but they're struggling.
Genetically flawed?
Hardly. Absolutely not.
Do Asians have this problem?
I mean, a lot of communities have problems. A lot of whites have these problems.
So it's not just black and Hispanic.
But it's
Why did you bring up this?
because the magnitude is down.
But why so many of them?
It's just that the magnitude of what is crazy.
Think about it.
There are a lot of issues in the communities that struggle.
Why are they struggling?
A lot of different reasons.
Hispanics have been here, blacks have been here longer than we've been here.
Everything you can explain like
Asians, they were put in internment camps.
yes, please, in fact, they all these theories in San Francisco. The Chinese exclusion came out of progressive San Francisco.
So they have action places?
A lot of Asians certainly do.
Oh, so why don't you include them?
Because then the only reason why is the magnitude of the problem.
But there's no way to figure
This isn't actually programming, right?
No, this is the book. This is an actual conversation, a debate that Adam Carolla had with Gavin Newsom. But they replaced the voices. And Gavin Newsom
But you said the voices are too
and Adam Carolla with a girl. Right, you see them. They Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, I was confused for a minute.
But this is the funny thing. This is right.
Do you like that, JoJo?
Yeah. I think this is where the right figures get checked. Is when they make it sound like black people are kind of genetically inferior and they can't handle basic problems that other people can't. And they make it sound like that, but they didn't help the causes that reason is the way they make it sound.
Right.
And they get trapped in the thing like, well, I'm not really saying that, but if you agree with it, like if this is good, like if this is good, like if this is good, like if
Anyone who could be age 18 to 60, anyone in the black community, you have a checking account. And if they do, probably yes. If they don't, why don't? Are you unable to fathom how to work a second? Like, you're not.
it's not a genetic thing, it's just the culture really drives you bad. You haven't been taught.
Yeah, you talk to them. But, they can't get ID. Alright, so how did they ever, rent a car, go to the right, do this, do that, and they can do everything.
They try to make minorities make it sound like, they've been wrong, but the way they phrase this stuff is to make it sound like there's something wrong with the index.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, what do you say? People are idiots, you know?
No, it's not like offensive.
Right. Right.
So that guy from Japan, I was looking through the letters right now. For some reason, they always go to junk mail. I was like, Joe didn't send them again. I said, let me look before I go off. And that they were in junk mail. Yeah, but that letter you were reading from that guy, he still has more on the letter.
Oh, after the...
Yeah. Am I wrong?
Oh, no, it goes to him next. We haven't read him yet.
Oh, my bad.
He's next.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This maybe we'll get to Sean TV.
Make sure your mic to Disco.
Alright. Sean KB from Tokyo Soka University, subject fetishes. What's happening, K100 Roads? I'm struggling to type this email. I got home 30 minutes ago and then class in 2 hours. Would it be tremendous if I skipped class today? My question is fetishes. Dude, Japan is a capital of fetishes, where there's a bunny girl bar, French maid bar, the soap lands, and recently I checked out, which might be Conan's favorite, a Chevy's knockoff, aka Mexican bar where the chicks are wearing completely conking bras and black socks. Well, the price shows the green room was a highlight. The question is, Joe, were you guys ever involved in some kind of sexual fetish international from home? The disco seeking an Asian queen. I learned to take the disco experience with soap lands, but Conan and Joe, what type of fetishes would you guys be interested in? Tokyo is wild, especially with Kogi. You know what I mean? I feel bad because the influx of girls engaged in these acts has risen to due to the $40 to dollar ratio, which attracts the users of the world, especially Americans. Maybe disco can save these girls. The funny girl bar I went to a week ago is fun to tip their drinks, so some dipshit from the U.S. is cornering the girls, trying to give them a lap dance, try to pull out their stockings and leotard with the song all the way turned up, laughing in the background. Must have been a Dave Meltzer thing. You're more than happy to give me a round table and show you guys like you and you that I'm in Japan and Soka University. Time difference is that I'm 17 hours ahead, and would you prefer the funny bar? We could have a live show, so make it happen.
Yeah, I'd like to see that bunny bar.
So pull up on YouTube, pull up funny bar. You get a video of the funny bar. And I just get to put he randomly put on a surprise show in the invited. It has no idea. So I was kind of I don't have any fetishes.
But have you ever had any?
No,
Like you like for a while Asian girls,
Asian girls have been included in all the girls I've been with.
right?
The funny thing is, if you date an Asian girl, I think you show an Asian girl fetish.
Right.
Asian girls are only the type of,
Girls that you like.
yeah, that's
Those are fetish.
No, I've been with white girls, black girls, Mexican girls, Asian girls.
I got a white girl fetish.
You gotta even picture the
That's the funny bar joke.
Just to take it for this is kind of Hooters with the
First
Hooters.
one, Joe.
It's like Hooters. It's like a theme, like the Hooters,
Kind of.
just like bunnies.
They're like Playboy bunnies, right?
Hey.
The first one they call the girl with the mask.
You're doing pull-ups. Any bar that has hot servings is a good bar, in my opinion.
She's in shape.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, we like to do something from the bunny bar the next time we do the...
If you could, yeah, the round table. If we could do a round table.
What time is it now, right now, Joe, in Japan?
17 hours ahead over there. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Next is some Will Gabby. It's Will Gabby Gonzalez from Chester, Pennsylvania. And the subject is Jesse Ventura's contract expires. Hello, Disco Conan and Joe. This is Will Gabby, as Disco likes to call me a Conan boy. Dave Meltzer reported that Jesse's
Nothing wrong with that, Gabi.
Jesse's contract expires at WWE, and I want to ask you guys when we put the Jesse Ventura work on Saturday's main event. Thought he did well, and with his criticism that cage match increased in Drew was pretty spot on, which made wrestling not making any sense. How does a babyface just beat up the heel with the multiple chair shots and just look out the cage move? To me, that feels like a heel route to do not a good guy. In this group that Triple H's creative humans can't take criticism from an old-screen guy like Jesse Ventura, you would think they would want to hear a guy like that out, not just dismiss him. P.S. Disco, are you still a fan of that reason Ben Shapiro? I feel like that dude is getting worse since October 7th, the Israel attack. Dude is having a nuclear breakdown because Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes on the show, and now he's stooging himself with CNN about it. Does that contradict everything he believes on free speech, and what's his motto? Facts don't care about your feelings? What a good. I lost interest in Ben Shapiro after October 7th because literally every single day, half of his posts were, more than half his posts were about Israel.
Then it became boring.
Right, just,
And the thing is, like, So he's an Orthodox Jew, like he wears his yarmulke in public. You know, that's your religion, that's cool. But when you're doing that, you're letting me know, like, you're extreme. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me give you something. I was thinking about this the other day, too.
Because I know you follow them, right? So,
Yeah, I don't listen to him. Well, I've seen clips of him, but dude, is there anything more divisive than wearing your religious garb out in public?
right.
Thereby telling people, hey, I'm Jewish. I don't get you like, but I'm the correct religion. Here's my yarmulke. And like you got people wearing burpees and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Dude, that's a major problem. Where in the year 2025, as we've evolved, it's like, why are we still dressing like you did back in the ancient times, like with religion and stuff? Like you're wearing your religion on your sleeve out in public. There's literally nothing more divisive than that. Because you're saying you're a Christian, I don't accept it. Why don't you telling people you're out in public and you're telling people I don't agree with you. I don't agree with things you're saying right off the bat.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, how does that mean they're better than that?
That's what people think when they have this.
How do you know that?
Because it's just a part of their religion. Religious sincerity?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that. It's what I think. That's how they were raised. They know no better. So when they come to the United States, they're not going to change their tradition. They should know that in the United States we don't dress in religious garb. But it's a slippery slope because you do have freedom of religion, and I guess that would include dressing, any way you want, right? But I don't think the fact that they dress like that and I don't know for a fact, but I don't think they're trying to say, I'm better than you. They're just saying, hey, I'm Jewish or I'm Muslim or a Hasidic Jew or whatever.
I just see a lot of clips coming out of Muslims that are muted here. Basically, they say, like, we're not here to address, we're here to tell you what's good, and our goal is to compare you.
I believe, Joe, that would be a very small part of the whole pie.
Yeah.
And I think most people just dress like that because that's how they were raised.
Well, it's like Bill Maher said.
Because I was talking to this girl that she's from Somalia, and then this other girl that was from Nigeria, and they were wearing that hijab and the dress thing, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't ask them that question, but I never got the feeling that they thought they were better than me. So.
Yeah, but you're sitting there, you're just saying subconsciously, hey, if you're not my religion, I'm, like, I don't know. I just think it's divisive. There's no unity involved with it.
We don't dress like that, bro. So similar to our culture too.
Right.
If you don't want to get dirty looks and shit, we don't dress like that, bro. We don't dress like the fucking pilgrims and shit.
Right.
To be honest. Right. But I will go. Is this the same guy from the Bunny Bar?
No.
Yeah, I just let me reiterate. I'm very interested in doing something with you in the Bunny Bar.
I think he's in Chester.
Joe likes that.
That Chester's that's like if you drive through the hardest part of San Diego area, you fucking get the door locked or whatever. Chester, you don't slow down.
Where's Chester in Pennsylvania?
It's like 5 minutes from you.
So
what's worse, South Philly or Chester?
Chester.
Or Kensington?
Kensington's probably the worst at anywhere. But Chester and Camden, New Jersey are like...
Yeah, Camden's rough.
Yeah.
Next is Eddie Gonzalez from Eagle Pass, Texas, oh boy. Durbin is an egghead. After discussion of the crappy topics the Fee brought to the table, I gave Dr. Joe Venus an idea. I said he should get together with Patreon members to get an idea of what we'd like to listen to. What do you all think about that? P.S. Disco, I love when you piss on Jeff Lana's crappy topics he picked out when you do Wise Tiger Games with Disco. You took it like a little bitch, too. Oh, he's calling you a little bitch a little bit.
Yeah, because I think he's saying I didn't react like Jeff. But,
well, Jeff would tell me, Jeff would literally not follow any wrestling stuff all week, and like, it would be 2 hours before the show to go over the client topic to talk about, and the topic would stop.
Yeah.
Like, you really think that I want to... I may get mad at me because I want to just very shit.
Yeah. And he is a little bitch because he's a nobody, and he decided to open up his fucking mouth in the Russo thing against us. Hey, I understand you're right or die with Russo and all that, but you and me don't have no beef. And not that we have any beef, I just have a low respect of you.
You just
When you did that.
think they're sissy
Because you were just doing it to sucking up to the guy.
Yeah,
And that's great. And if you got any balls, come on the show and we can discuss that.
you have them. Where's the debated pretty good?
No, but he hasn't been here in a long
No,
time.
10 years ago.
Taking me.
That's the point that was there.
Yeah.
That was 2017, like March 2017. So Eddie did
Various
say,
twin cats.
Eddie did say that to me on the Patreon, where he was like, well,
I also said that to
no,
you.
yeah, that's all I was going to clarify. That's what you were going to say. Hey, I thought you did that. In the past, I've gone on Patreon and Facebook and everywhere and say, which segments do you like the best? Do you want to hear more of this? Do you want to hear more of that? What do you think about these three ideas? What's your favorite? So I've done that, but his idea was get some Patreons on the rant today and just let's do all the stuff of what kind of content he likes to have and stuff like that.
Well, this is kind of rich on his part because, dude, you literally had an opportunity this week to bring up a topic that we could discuss. You elected not to. I think that's not right. It could have been in his email. Exactly. He could have brought something up. He could have discussed. Bring up something interesting. You know, like that's what the Patreon knows. Like, they're supposed to be asking interesting questions. Like that, you know, we find a few. You know,
What was his opening line? He wasted it to make up for Mike Doty.
German is an egg bed.
For some reason, I don't even know what an egghead is. What is that supposed to be? Dork, okay. That must be old school. I don't hear anybody using that term. That not only does that sound like old school Joe, that sounds like old school comics, like something you read in Peanuts or Beetle Baby or something.
it's cartoon or something,
Yeah. But for some reason, KG still has heat, right? I definitely know why I'm that one. But for some reason, Durbin and Huey has a lot of heat.
Yeah. Mike's back. You'll be pleased to hear this one. Mike is back in the music scene in Chicago. I mean, he's been playing some shows and stuff. And I've seen a couple of clips.
But then you told me he didn't want to play anymore?
Yeah, he got back in the last 2 months, I guess. I don't talk to him that often, but I know
He gets out of the group. When he gets thrown out, they take him up back and beat him up just as like a parting gift.
yeah, no cameras.
This is from Adrian McKinney from Memphis, Tennessee. Hiya, fellas. It seems the government shutdown was found out to come to close. Democrats said no to open up the government 15 times in past count. Things are getting less of what they wanted with the ACA. The other guys think it's different now than more than before the shutdown. Also, what are your feelings towards the Mondami dude in New York with his Mary Lynn? Seems so snake oil sluggish the way he talks and smiles. In any case, what do you think of your thoughts? Hope you feel better, fellas. B.I. Keep setting the bunks online straight. Joe, keep up the good work from the K100 of the Raven effect. Peace.
Thank you. I will.
Like, the government shutdown was stupid. I don't know, you know, the amount of people that are getting hardship to, I think they realized, you know, with Thanksgiving coming up, if they were literally going to shut down travel, the Republicans all were voting to, you know, keep everything open, and they were voting against it, so, but, yeah, we talked about this.
What are your views on this, Joe?
I think from what I've seen, a lot of that party lost respect for Schumer. Schumer's got mega heat. With Mamdani, you know, he got in on a lot of promises and stuff, and already the governor of New York has kind of like shut a few down. She's like, what are you talking about 3 buses? I'm not backing that. You know, so he's going to have a lot of problems enacting his changes. And Mamdani, the New York mayor.
Why is he going to have problems? He's the mayor.
It's got to go through the
Yeah, he can't put you no matter what goes there. Yeah, so that's like the governor of New York. Like, I'm not backing her in the 3 buses, so he's in some trouble. And yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what he's able to get done, if anything.
Well, the thing he can control is just the police. I'm very curious to see how policing is going to go in New York City, and whether or not people feel you have people starting to not feel safe and crime rise.
Yeah,
You know, that's the worst thing that the liberals do to think back and understanding the basic security protocols and making people feel safe. And it's like they just don't even think about it. You know, it's just like you know, people don't want an open border. People want more cops in the neighborhood. Even if, like, when you see a video of a cop beating somebody up, there's a certain people say, well, we got to get rid of the cops. But other people say, well, if you don't make cops, you're not going to feel safe. You know, there's more people that want to feel safe than there are people that want to demonize police officers when they see video of the police brutality. Well, I think if I could,
This is what I wanted to do. So we hired or brought in. This was a long time advisor. Now she's a chief of staff, and Ellie Griswold Church. And she is, according to the chief architect of the plan as social workers respond to 911 calls.
it's ridiculous.
So she's the chief of staff, and that's her plan. Yeah.
What's her plan?
There are no social workers involved in the policing. And
Like
to get rid of cops. Yeah.
Like a person that is gonna fit in
Get rid of cops and put a social worker in place. I think, I'm just because I'm gonna forget.
There you go.
I thought if you brought a social worker with a cop that was well versed in mental issue problems, right? Because we've had a lot of problems, and we see it every day where cops shoot people that are like on the spectrum.
An episode. Yeah,
They don't know how to identify it or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that person might be valuable, but to replace a cop with a social worker, are you fucking kidding me? Just for real?
It's a garbage. Yeah, they're gonna have if it's like a shoplifter, they don't think they need a cop because that's non-violent or whatever. I mean,
But what's a social worker going to do? Are you going to train him to man a gun and arrest him and all that?
Who knows?
yeah,
It just sounds good for the people that hate the mob.
There's going to be maybe a little bit. Okay, so I'm at the point in politics because the guy says, "Oh, he seems like a snake oil still." Bro, 90%. I feel like they are because they're always picking the political parties, always picking somebody that you would want to hang out with or talk to, and they're all full of shit. So Mandani ain't the only one. But I'm the type of guy that even when Trump came in, I remember me and Disco saying, let's give him a chance. We have given him a chance and we've seen so far what he's done. Whether you agree or disagree, we gave him a chance, right? Same thing with Mandami. Well, let's see what he does. He might surprise us. It's a radical shift that nobody's used to, and maybe we need something outside of the box. Maybe some things will work. Maybe we implement those things in the future. I'm not saying everything will work, but my thing is let's give the guy a chance.
Well, you have to now.
Yeah. Right.
Well, it's supposed to work, I got voted in, give it to him, let him do what are you going to do?
But are you against him, Joe, at Disco?
I don't like this stuff. I don't want to work shit. That's
Okay, but that's not my question. We're talking about...
what if he was elected in Las Vegas?
He said so many absurd things to me.
Right. What's the most absurd thing that you were like, I'm out of here?
The government taking over control of buildings and stuff.
Right.
It's like, what do the landlords do?
Yeah.
You're taking a landlord's property from them and taking it over to provide a cheaper housing. You're taking the landlord and putting them out of business.
Yeah, that is kind of snatching, right?
It's like, that's what they like. That's communism.
Right. That is communism.
Like that, right? So it's like that's absurd.
Right.
Police is absurd.
Right.
And not cooperating with ICE is absurd. Especially since the screen that even the previous mayor said that the illegal. So that was the most brilliant, the smartest thing to me we've seen the Republicans do.
What?
Is to fight to fight the illegal immigration issue. They took all these illegals, rounded them up, and sent them to the sanctuary cities.
Right.
And the sanctuary cities said, "Wait, we just we're just like, all right, well, let's really shut the borders down." It was a great strategy. They
did expose them.
Right, it was a great play. Even Bill Morris, that was one of the smartest things he did. I was like, that was so smart. Even the Democrats, prior to three, that was political. Now it's really close to it. But he's like, not cooperative. We have this to me. When elected government officials, okay, that should not enforce the laws that are in place. That to me should be grounds to get expulsion the job. You have the laws. You either go to Congress to change the laws, but if you're ignoring the laws and you don't like the laws, to me, that's the up you can do. Yeah? And that's what I think what a lot of what a lot of stuff he's talking about. I'm not going to cooperate with ICE. Like if ICE is federally more important, and if you're going to inhibit the law and force people to enforce the laws, it's like you can change the laws, but this is the law. And you're a government official should not be on the side of not upholding the law. That's my opinion. I hate that when I see that.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're literally letting the Twitter dictate what the laws are. Oh, we don't like your thing, that's not the law. The law is this. We can force it, so.
Well, you want to laugh about something Trump said on 60 Minutes? You know, he was on 60 Minutes last week?
Yes. I didn't see that interview yet.
Yeah. He ate the bitch up. Well, he's just so much better than these people are. Yeah, and he's confident, and he's the man, and he's the president, right?
Yeah.
Here's a funny one. The lady goes, hey, how come you said you were going to Venezuela and you'd be willing to put boots on the ground? Would you be willing to say that here right now, that's something you're going to do? And he goes, why would I tell you my secrets? He goes, well, the people want to know. He goes, why would I tell a reporter what I'm going to do? Bro, he's just very right. And he's right. He is right. And let me tell you the other thing that was fun. One last thing. Remember when they showed images of, bro, ICE was getting their ass kicked in Chicago, bro. People were shooting at them, throwing rocks at them. But anyways, they showed like images before they even asked the question of like, ICE like roughhousing people on the floor. And there was another one where ICE was, remember that Hispanic guy that they arrested? He was like, I'm American citizen. I'm from New Jersey.
The Maryland man.
No, Maryland. Okay.
Right.
So they showed all that, right? Right. Before they go, do you understand that, people aren't happy with the way you're taking care of immigration? He goes, because maybe your tactics have gone too far. And he goes, I don't think they've gone far enough. How great is that? Yeah. How great is that?
The illegal immigration is only getting a very big problem. So it's like there's not if you want a politically correct way to clean it up, I think that's just not going to happen right now. A couple of years from now, we can start flipping out because they're letting so many people, it's like, it's a mess.
There's a very easy meeting for everything. I know you want to get hypocritical there, but something that was a Syrian president. Yeah. First time ever, he's never the Syrian how to stay in this trial. I think he's never in to. Yeah. It's a first visit to the White House. Yeah. He's never done it. Yes. Yeah. But it's such a money to do. This guy hung out outside. He was just on the terror watch list for like a couple of days ago. There's only the whole news a couple of days ago. This is what years ago.
This is what people don't understand about government. Okay, when you're in charge of the country. This guy was a terrorist. Yeah. And then the terrorist groups ended up taking over Syria and taking over the government. Yeah. So now what Trump has to do is like, now this guy's in charge of their government. This guy's not just a freaking on-the-run terrorist. So this guy's in charge of government. So what am I supposed to do? Yeah. I have to have relations with this guy because this is another leader. And Trump's the way he operates in this always operates. He makes nice with adversaries. He speaks well of them, because you don't want to piss these people off if they're adversaries. You put them on the defensive, like, wow, this guy's talking really nice about it. Yeah. Am I supposed to do this? It's not a bad tactic, but that's one of the things.
That he does right, that he is brilliant. You know what he did in the 60 Minutes? This will better pop out of you too. That he in the 60 Minutes interview, he had it inside his suit. He had a list. And he said that there were like 9 conflicts in the world, and he had settled 8 of them. And he opened up, and he showed the girl the list. That's hilarious. Yeah. Well, the thing is, Trump, like, at least he wants peace. Yeah. Everybody's like, fuck Russia, fuck China, let's go after them.
And then, in a nutshell, the reason it's so like you hate this for a while. Bro, the news, these left-wing news stations are getting terrible ratings now. Yeah. Because these people are not that good. Trump was literally the highest rated show on television with The Apprentice.
Yeah.
It's like these people are no competition for them. You know, they're amateurs. Like, the way they do TV is amateurs compared to, like, the amount of influence this guy had. Just this is on a show where he was fired.
Yeah. He must have studied public relations really hard. He must have studied, like, crowd control, how to, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just so important.
Yeah, you know, we've been doing it for so long, you know?
But yeah, I mean, they took the guy off the list recently just so he could have this meeting. And now it's like,
I think he was off the list.
last week. Look it up. Look it up. He's going to join now.
I know how could it have been last week if the president of Saudi Arabia,
Oh, man.
Salman or whatever. Okay, this was months ago. What I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, this was months ago. The president of Saudi Arabia, as a personal favor to him, he asked him if he would help Syria, and he wouldn't fuck with him on the tariffs. And I remember when he went up there and he goes, you know, he's young, he's handsome. I was like, are you gonna fuck this guy or what? You know, he goes, he's young and he's handsome. And the president of Arabia asked me for a favor, and this president of Arabia was sitting over there. They both smiled at each other. Yeah, he was a terrorist, but I don't think last week.
I'm telling you, just look at, just
No, Joe, it's been a while. It's this
I just got it out of the Washington Post. Like, I don't understand. It's right here.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up just to.
All right, let's go to the
And
last email.
he also removed the tariffs today, so that was a part of it because he's going to join a coalition against,
So I do.
and finally we're actually going to wipe out ICE, or ISIS, or whatever you call it.
All right, so let's go to the last one. So Jonathan asks for Please Pay sees Canada. The FanDuel best bets are 5-3 now. The third 5-star pick for the year Sunday night is Eagles Lions over 48.5. Neither team has a secondary. I would disagree with that too. That if you watch the Monday Night Football this past week, you wouldn't agree with that thing. I'm a casual wrestling viewer at best, and most weeks I watch nothing. Some weeks I'll throw it on to encourage my wife to go to sleep. Last Wednesday I did this, and it was National Bring Your Kid to Work Day. I turned it on, and Darby Allin versus Danny Garcia was on, and she asked me if this was kids wrestling. I watched the last 50 minutes, but here are my thoughts. Mini Moxley, Danny Garcia is atrocious. The Death Riders dressed like the orphans from the Warriors movie. Excalibur, Shivani, and Danielson all suck. It's like a three-way tie for worst on commentary. The venue is reminiscent of a theater that a one-hit wonder from 1984 performs at. FTR are sharp dresses for someone working in a dispensary, but they're on national TV. Are the fans wearing masks to look like they're embarrassed to be there? Is Mina Shirakawa's entrance dancing, or does she have a history of having seizures? Megan Bain is more awkward in the ring than a dude is in a girl's bathroom. The Triangle of Madness? Wow, one of the worst group names ever. Why is Jamie Hayter dressed like the cast of Three's Company? When Samoa Joe comes to the ring with a venue and crowd this small, does he think he's young and doing indies? Eddie Kingston looks like Zoran Mondami's older homeless stepbrother. Why is Powerhouse Ops still used to wallow in the mire? Are any of these observations incorrect? And P.S. How high was Joe last week? Kept trying to be funny, etc. Left on. Joe, were you high last week?
No, I don't believe so.
Are you on any pills?
No.
No pills.
No pills.
Is your pill problem then? Do you have a pill problem?
Oh, no. It's been like...
When was the last time you taken a barbiturates or narcotics?
Well, I quit 7 years ago. I can't say there hasn't been a couple of handoffs in the years since, but it's been a long time.
Folks.
I actually haven't even drank since July.
Interesting. So you haven't been to the pool hall?
No.
This was actually a funny take on this last 15 minutes of the
It
show.
sounded out of my own cap in the first fucking place.
Just from the United Nations, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
In July, the U.S. revoked the designation of HTS, which was a terrorist group to belong to, as a foreign terrorist group.
Yeah.
Not yesterday.
Yeah, but no, that's 4 months ago, Joe.
Yeah, but no. He's wrong. He visited...
It's not wrong, Joe. This guy has seen them with
All right, let's ask Brock.
I'm telling you that I saw him... Bro, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you
in July, I know.
Listen, bro. Quit trying to be right all the time. Just
I'm
listen.
not. I am.
Just listen. Just listen, please.
Yes.
Okay. So, I saw a few months ago.
Break time. I'll be right back,
when
folks.
I told you that Trump was putting this guy over as being handsome and young and, you know, a new leader of the, you know, the Arabian nations, and the other, you know, Al-Salman or I forgot his name, the guy from Saudi Arabia, the young guy.
MBS.
Yeah.
Right, MBS. He was there too. And he said that he did it as a favor to him, right?
Mhm.
Do you think that he would have given him all those pleasantries and said that he was going to not put tariffs on him if he was on the terrorist watch list?
Yeah, but he didn't do anything officially until today.
Read what you got, Joe.
Yeah. Continuing a stunning reversal of fortune for a man branded until 3 days ago as an international terrorist by the U.S. government with a $10 million bounty. So 3 days ago, CBS News.
Said what?
That he was branded a terrorist until 3 days ago. International terrorist with a $10 million bounty. Until
According to who?
CBS.
Interesting. Joe may be right.
Al Jazeera. The U.S. removed Al Jazeera from the terrorist sanctions list before a meeting between the new countries leader and Trump last week. That's from Brian Osgood, Al Jazeera.
In July by BBC, which I guess
BBC.
they're talking about, they said that
By
Syria
Mr.
would be
BBC.
the 90th country to join the global coalition, which is aimed at eliminating remaining elements of the so-called Islamic State and stemming the flow of foreign militants. Back then in July is when all this was done.
Yeah, but maybe the point is that the actual designation thing on the terror watch.
Yeah, the official.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
yes.
because he was in New York City in July, and I remember there was heat because it was like,
Right.
this guy on the terror list allowed over here. Yeah, so it's probably official. I think it was made official from what the one article said, so he could visit Trump.
I'm definite that at that meeting he bro, because there's no way he would have put him over and talked to him like that and said he wouldn't implement tariffs. So he was still on the terrorist watch thing.
All right, y'all.
So maybe,
Let's do it.
maybe like you said, official. Huh?
Yeah, she was the one that hated it the most.
Right, but you can see what she's saying about today, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, listen to this. Trump, for his part, repeatedly expressed his support for al-Shabaab, referring to him as a young, attractive guy and a fighter. That's your man.
Yeah, he said that today. He comes from a tough place.
All right, so that's been the Patreon mail. We didn't have any suspensions this week.
No.
Maybe if Joe, if we could do some data on this before we report next week, if you could do some data on if our suspensions are for habitual offenders.
They usually are.
They usually are, yeah. So maybe we should make maybe for habitual offenders we might have to make the punishments different for the what you call it. So for all our listeners out there, it's time to talk about stepping up your grooming game. The face shaving products from Manscaped are the ultimate grooming tools designed to deliver precision and comfort in sleek and easy to reach. K102, maybe Lesnar versus Lash. Brock stiffed him with the suplex, so Lashley no sold it, stood up and stiffed Lesnar right back. So we could tell, oh man, this is on. The Triple H took over the thinking to pushing Lashley the top guy, and it's a shame, but I have to ask you guys. What do you think the morale is of Lashley and AEW? Never seen him being worse than being in a tag team role. Plus, he's the real-life version of the character that John Moxley sucks so badly at playing. To me, while Lashley is getting paid a ton, no doubt, it just feels like a total waste of talent. Have you heard anything behind the scenes? P.S. Conan, I love you, man, but after hearing that Kofi Kingston interview, you have no right to call Joe boring. You asked Kofi about trail mix. Joe's topics that you trashed were the best stuff you put on YouTube in some time.
Well, let me just say this. Let's suspend this guy right off the bat. I asked him a question that wasn't a topic.
No.
There's a huge difference.
It was the stoner gas station question. That you asked.
Right.
You're out late at night. What snacks do you get?
Oh, what you
Right, and he said, yeah, the hot dog, the burrito, whatever, right? Because we've all made that, right? You're on the road, nowhere to eat, fucking hit a gas station, and if it isn't like a Wawa or some shit like that has good shit, you know, the pickings are slim. And it's usually like a hot dog that turned orange, right? Because it's been there all day. You know, like cookies that have been there from the morning. And you got a choice to make, you know? So, yeah, stick it in your ass.
Do you want to answer his question, or he just gets the boot?
I would answer his question.
What do you think about
How's Lashley's more?
Well, let's look at this. This is how bad Lashley's booking's been, right? What happened? Wasn't him and MJF supposed to fight each other? Did they ever have that match?
No.
There you go. They built up that whole angle.
So he can go do a movie, right? At least, though, have Lashley beat you on your way out, and then when you come back, you have something to go back to. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they did have a match and it's with someone that only disregarded. Next
So, but let me just confirm the Lashley thing. I've worked with Lashley in TNA and I've worked with him in Mexico in AAA. The guy's intelligent, articulate, a professional, very easy to work with, the real deal. He's a top guy, bro, and he's probably pissed, I would think, that they have him in this thing with Shelton, even though Shelton and MVP are his boys, they're not really top guys. You know what I'm saying? And so I think he knows he's not being used right.
Damn, Kelly got my fucking way.
Subject is the GOAT debate. K100, football is good. Is wondering as far as NBA GOAT debate is concerned, what do you rank Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan? Myself, I go Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. Won a 6-0 NBA Finals in this final. Never went to Game 7. Also, multiple defensive MVP awards and more scoring titles. I put Kobe second because even though LeBron had the records, he doesn't have Kobe killer instinct. Also, Jordan, Kobe sneakers are more valuable than LeBron. All that preference. I have LeBron top 3.
No, what are you doing, idiot? Not right there. You're supposed to do
never
it.
missed a game because of BS load management.
Dumbass controller.
I want to answer this first because I get a different take on this. I don't think you can answer this question like as clear as that because the eras are different.
Right.
Okay, LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan played in an era where the big man was the big man and stood in the middle, blocked shots, and rebounded and slugged.
Right.
LeBron is playing in an era where the big man is 6'10" and can dribble and play point guard.
They shoot threes.
Right. Okay, so I don't know. I will say this. At his physical size and stature, would have averaged 35 points, 15 rebounds, and 15 assists a game back in that era, those little guys. If you can watch the games that they're physically just not as imposing, he would have slaughtered these guys. Because at one point, Karl Malone was an MVP one year. Okay? Karl Malone is 6'10", 262. LeBron is 6'9", 257. They're basically the exact same size, but LeBron can dribble, pass and something. Malone just like a big blood forward.
He didn't deserve MVP that year either.
I'm just saying, it's like, so you can't...
Who did? Barkley?
Jordan.
The eras are completely different. So it's hard to describe, but I would say based on track record, you have to say Jordan, with 6-0 in the NBA Finals, and Kobe number 2 because he had 6 championships, okay? And LeBron third because he was 3-3. However, okay, Jordan never had an opportunity, never had to play in a final where his team was an underdog. Jordan always was the favorite. Okay, so they didn't, like, Jordan did not have the competition that LeBron had to face. He would play the Warriors. He would play, the teams that were better than his team. They actually won the other games.
They would have been underdogs against the Pistons in Houston.
They were not. They never won. They never won.
They would have played the Lakers to Lakers that year?
I don't know, but I'm just saying it's like, it's different because Jordan had way less competition than LeBron did. So I don't, ranking in the context of the competition, yeah, but I still...
You make a good point because they're from different eras. But if you're on a basketball team and you're going to play 3 other players from, let's say, Russia, who would be your 1, 2, and 3?
From Russia? From like foreigners?
From the U.S., yeah.
Oh, if I was going to pick 3 guys.
Yeah, from those
I'd probably pick...
Who would be 1, 2, and 3 to play the 3 best Russians?
Probably those 3 guys right there.
Yeah, but in what order would you say? Like, who's 1, who's 2, who's 3?
Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe.
Let's say, change it up a little bit. A center, a forward, and a guard.
Well, LeBron played center a couple times.
Yeah, but you wouldn't use him as a center.
Remember that game? Remember when what's the thing up?
Magic Johnson played center. You would have put him as a center.
I don't know. You would. But remember that game when Magic Johnson played center in the finals? He had like 42 points and 17. Like ridiculous, right?
He was a beast.
Right? Yeah, it was like
He's
crazy.
so underrated.
Yeah.
He's very, very underrated. But okay, so that's a good thing that Joe said. Who would be your center then?
Well, 3-on-3 don't really need us. It's like,
let's just say, just for argument's sake.
LeBron would be the center.
No, but your team, okay, give me your best 5 guys to put against the best 5 Russians.
Yeah. Center all time?
A center, 2 forwards, 2 guards, like a normal 20.
Yeah.
Here'd be my 5, all time. And it's a 5,
Right.
if 5, let's call it this. 5 guys defend the corner.
about
Okay, but you're the person with the
okay, question. Any relation to the five guys in the back of the bus?
No, but I would say here are the five guys. Okay, LeBron,
Right,
Kobe,
right,
Jordan, Jokic,
right.
and Steph Curry. But you'd have the best of everything. You'd have LeBron as a playmaker. Okay, you would have Jordan and Kobe, tenacious like winners, like
Yeah,
just like right. Jokic playing center, going up the steps, could do everything, pass, rebound, do everything, and you would have the best three-point shooter of all time out there too, Steph Curry. That would be my five guys to defend the family.
Okay, who are your five guys, Joe? And before you answer that, who you pick 1, 2, and 3 between Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe?
Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. Just like that, though.
Killing bullshit.
Hakeem in the center. The guards, Iverson and Jordan. And two forwards, Kobe and Charles Barkley.
You have Iverson out there, he's a ball hog. You wouldn't be able to play with those guys.
He would be intimidated by Jordan and he'd get the ball.
How would he be intimidated by Jordan if he crossed him over and made him fall?
He's still there. It's funny. If you ever watch their stories about the Hall of Fame and stuff, those guys are still intimidated. Like he walks in the room and everyone's shut
Yeah, I know they're still intimidated because
Yeah.
I saw that. I saw
Yeah.
him. But still, he did cross him over.
He did.
You know what's funny?
Right there.
So Dale Murphy, he used to play for the Braves, right? He never made it to the Hall of Fame, but he's great. He was a super Christian, right? To
In the
this
baseball
day,
player from
yes,
Atlanta?
yes.
Yeah.
To this day, when he would come around, team like for events or something,
Right.
nobody would cuss around. Like you don't use foul language
Yeah,
when Dale
that's
Murphy's in the
respect,
room. That's Matthew. Just think about that. Like you're showing that guy that much respect. You
Damn.
don't use foul language around the guy.
What inside of this building?
When Eddie was dealing with his drinking issues, none of us would drink around him. And if we had something, we'd hide it. You know?
Right.
But, okay, so mine is. It's such
Your
a
fan
tough-
is hitting the thing.
Okay, this is such a tough one after Jordan, but Jordan number 1, best player I've
Damn.
ever seen. And then after him, I'm gonna pick LeBron and then Kobe. Okay, my top 5. Oh man, I like
No.
both of your centers.
No, I'm
really.
not going out.
But I'm a big Olajuwon fan, so I'm gonna pick Olajuwon and Bill Russell. Olajuwon or Bill Russell. Then we're gonna go with Jordan. We're gonna go with Magic Johnson. We're gonna go with young Larry Bird, not when he was hurt. And then probably, wow, that's a
Wait, who do you got? Hakeem, Magic,
Right.
Bird, and Jordan?
right,
And you got one more spot. Okay.
right. What am I missing? A forward or forward, right?
You could put Kobe at small forward. Kind of, I would put, Kobe and Jordan at the guard, Hakeem,
I would put Kobe in there.
and then, you didn't pick Kobe, that's right. You pick Magic. Magic could play anywhere. He could play power forward.
Right. That's a good team I'd put up against your teams.
Yeah.
It's just. All right, so let's hit the next one. John Grace. Jim Cornette runs
That guy got
the
suspended, Joe.
That's right, I got him. Michael Neves.
John Graves. Subject is Jim Cornette runs a Daytona in LAX. AK-100 special for Conan. You cut one of my favorite photos during your LAX on TNA on Jim Cornette. I attached a video and was wondering if this was real heat against him. Probably not, but to me it felt so real. I mean, these cards would make it very believable. That's Richard's a good help, kid.
Thank you.
Orlando, Don Bolino would run the pen. Yes, some Collins in jail, but I will tell you this: for your file, we could probably get a cup of soup and a honey bun. So let me tell you this: and your next check is coming from Social Security disability. We're gonna be all over you like bad teeth on a Somali. So living guy in LAX, bitch. Let's say it again. I feel for you. You're in the golden match. You're number 20. And one thing, I may be a cracker, but I don't care. I've given you some good news. Leave it there and you're going to find out. You may not like what I always have to say, but you're going to be able to believe it.
What do you have against the teeth on Somalis?
Have you seen their teeth?
Well.
No, I had no heat with Jim, but my character, I always try to get real heat, infuse it into my character, and then put it into the promo. And plus, bro, if you slack on Cornette, he will chop your shit up, you know?
Oh.
So you got to come correct with him. and it was a pleasure because he's one of my favorite all-time promos.
And he did Disco also threaten him potentially with sexual assault. So there's that. That was in there too.
Yo, we're back with Disco's favorite segment, the Lucha Libre segment minute. Boom.
It would have been a good time out. It would have been a good birthday present if we had scrapped the Lucha Libre segment this week.
No, would you rather have I could have got Kevin as a special surprise.
No, he's fucking.
Kevin Gill?
No, Kleinrock.
Oh, Kleinrock.
Me too.
I love it that the first Kevin you thought of was KG. That's very disrespectful to Kleinrock. But no, it's your birthday, Disco, so it's a great moment to come back with the Lucha segment to talk about
I'll go out
your
as a winner,
favorite
baby.
part of wrestling, which is Mexican Lucha Libre. Andrade has been a big topic of conversation.
Right. I heard about that. It was good. I have some questions this week on the Lucha thing because there's some things I want to because that I don't know that I would like to be educated on if you guys can educate me. But we'll start off with the Andrade.
Yeah, so he was part of the meet and greet before the Crash Lucha Libre's big anniversary show in TJ, and once his meet and greet ended, he left. And apparently some reporters out here in the States made a big fuss about it, but he wasn't scheduled to wrestle. He actually wasn't announced for the show, just for the meet and greet, so that's what happened there. But the big news that I have, that my sources have told me, is that WWE actually rescinded Andrade's work visa, so he can't come back to the United States right now because he went to Mexico, and without this work visa, obviously he can't be a part of anything in the United States. I don't know if he can wrestle or not in Mexico. He hasn't. Since all that stuff with AEW came out about the cease and desist and his contract being over with WWE extended because of being fired with cause. But I thought it was very interesting to find out. It's like, hey, WWE's like in no BS mode. It's like, all right, you're not working for us. That work visa we got you, it's gone.
Well, why wouldn't they?
No, I mean,
why would they keep a work visa for somebody that they let go?
100% agree, and that's something that hasn't been talked about. It's been more about, him joking around on social media, and it's like, hey, no, I just left to go to eat Chinese food over in TJ, we know where. And it's like, wow, what's going on here? And hopefully Andrade can get his situation fixed and be able to work again, because I feel like if he doesn't get to work in a year without pay, that's not fair.
But he can work in Mexico, right? Wait, is he in Mexico or in the States?
Right now he's in Mexico. He can't come back to the States. He doesn't have to work.
How does it work in Mexico?
But that's the thing. He hasn't wrestled since the WWE thing came out of him getting his contract.
There's
But when you're non-compete.
Right.
Because, he went to Puerto Rico, he couldn't wrestle, he just went out and announced, was like, hey, I'm here, I'm sorry I can't wrestle, but I'm here. And now he did the same thing in TJ, where he did a meet and greet, and he didn't wrestle.
Well, it just sounds to me that they left under acrimonious conditions, and I think they were probably mad because he went to AEW when his 90-day compete wasn't up, and, I mean, the only places he can work is Mexico, where there's more money for him compared to what he was making in his lifestyle. Japan, same. Europe, same. So he's really going to also know how to make some money.
Yeah, but he's got good value. Bro, come on. You know how much these people pay. You get good value coming on WWE TV. So you know what's crazy? Is years ago, right, when I was getting like $400 or $500 for an indie show. Okay, this is like 10 for FSW. I don't know if you used to go to FSW. Harry, how long have you been going to FSW shows?
Once I moved to Vegas, so 2017. So
was I working on them back then, maybe?
You worked a couple of them.
So and I would give the hometown discount for this. I'd work like $150. And I always think local wrestlers give the hometown discount to the local organization to help them out if you got value. I do like
you're not traveling, you're not doing anything.
10 minutes from my house, I get there 30 minutes before the show, I wrestle, I drive back home. It's like an hour and 45 minutes has gone by, and it's like I could have done zero and put up.
You got your gambling money for the next day.
But back then, I'll never get. I don't care. But John Morrison was on the show, and we were doing that show over in Mesquite, right? dude, he was getting like $3,000. And he like just been up. I was like, wow, that's like that's when I realized, like, wow, these indies, because I have one of the indies in.
Well, you were trying to get on that wall.
And when any blew up, it's like, Jesus, guys get off WWE TV, they're making like $2,000-$4,000 a show on these indie shows. I'm like, that's good.
Bro,
a week. That's like freaking $20,000 a month.
It depends who you are and how they handled you in WWE. Morrison was kind of a top guy, right? Okay, and he went for the championship. Andrade was never a top guy. You know, he wasn't in the championship mix. He's not gonna get paid the same. You know what I'm saying? When Alexa Bliss came out or somebody like that, Matt Cardona is an anomaly because he works his ass off. He's fan friendly, promoter friendly. You know, and he's a real sharp businessman, and you're never going to have any trouble with him.
Well, let me bring up another point.
I think with Disco, I think what you're saying when you come up WWE, you're hot and this and that. And you can't take advantage of that because you can't work in the States. Well, unless there's mark promoters in Mexico that'll overpay. Is that what you're saying?
He's very popular in Mexico.
212.87.
But that's the thing, you can get paid in pesos in Mexico. You can get paid in dollars.
I want to just mention.
He's not going to have access to the bigger indies. Is what I mean.
I thought, okay, that when I had finished with WCW and I quit, I never went to WWE, right? And I wasn't, it wasn't working a lot, but I was back then. This is the early 2000s, right? I could make like, $60,000, like working independents. And at that time, like a grand a week was like not that bad. I didn't have to spend free time. $60,000, dude. These guys could easily make 6 figures on the indies now. Yeah. And that's a very, very, very comfortable living extrapolated to normal society because people will, welders are making like $150. And that's like, hard work here. Wrestlers only work like twice a weekend. And like you can make 6 figures, over $100,000 in an indie. And that's like, that's not some change by any stretch of imagination. Just live within your means. Now you're not traveling as much, you're not spending as much, You can be in great shape and only have 3 times during the week to work out, but yeah, I would doubt that Andrade is going to be hurting for money anytime soon. But based on how much he'll be making for shows in Mexico. I would
still bet that Andrade is going to end up in AEW. I mean, some way, somehow, he's going to end up in AEW, and we know that they're getting paid good money. So in the Crash show, there were a couple of matches that were interesting. The Good Brothers ended up showing up and winning the Crash Lucha Libre Tag Team Championships against Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. and Galeno del Mal, plus the Lux and Pierrot Jr. It was interesting before the show started. The Wagner Dynasty went out there.
Whoa. You say Pierrot Jr.?
Yes, sir.
Wait, isn't Pierrot the Antichrist? Who is El Antichrist, Conan?
He's nobody, right?
No, it's like the guy that was doing the Antichrist gimmick that we were making fun of with the promo.
Yeah, it's just he's nobody. That's who he was.
No, Conan's muted, I think.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, motherfucker.
Okay, I can't hear you. So I'm asking you, wasn't that guy's name Perot?
No.
What was his name?
Antichrist.
The Antichrist.
But
why does he need another name?
Perot.
No, you're wrong.
I got a T-shirt. I got the Antichrist. Should I go put the Antichrist crystal T-shirt on?
Yeah, and lower the lights.
Yeah, change it from the camera.
Get a gimmick like that. So when I was going through, the Wagner Dynasty came out before the show. Hey, we can't wrestle because now we're one of them with AAA WWE and the other one with AAA. But then the Lux and Pierrot convinced them to wrestle, and the Good Brothers ended up being a surprise entrance, and now they are the Tag Team Championships. So now the 2 main titles for the Crash are with the Good Brothers, the tag titles, and Andrade, who we don't know when he'll be able to wrestle again. He has their men's heavyweight championship. And in a mask versus hair 5-way match, I'm pretty sure Disco's disappointed with this result, but ended up losing her hair, which was pretty surprising for everybody in attendance. And you know that Mamba's hair was something that not a lot of people thought Mamba was going to lose.
Yes, you're right.
So I think it was Demon Infernal who ended up getting the win. It was Tejano Jr., Rey Mysterio, and Rey Escorpion, who was also involved in the match. It was a 5-way, so whoever Ezequiel's got the hair in that one. So that was the main event compared to previous anniversary main events. I mean, man, you were part of many of those. It doesn't seem to have the big names that they used to have in the past, and that obviously with the access not available there to most AAA stars or independent stars like they did with at a time with La Rebelión. That's where it started, and they had Penta, Fanny, Garza, Saga, Rey Mysterio. I was there when Volador Jr. did his appearance in the anniversary show. I was there front row, and it was like bonkers. And now it was close to a sold-out house, but it wasn't sold out, which is unheard of for aniversarios with the Crash Lucha Libre. With more news from AAA WWE, Chavo Guerrero Jr. announced in an interview with Bill Apter that he has re-signed with WWE. He's staying on board to be a part of the AAA committee backstage. Conan, how has it been working with Chavo Guerrero Jr., who hadn't been in the industry for a while? He was more in movies and shows, being in charge of the stunts and everything going on with wrestling. Now, how has it been being able to work with him?
Yeah, I haven't worked with him that much. He hasn't really been in a lot of shows. But the shows he's been at, you know, he's Chavo Guerrero, you know, just shit. He's been everywhere. He's wrestled everywhere. And
do you have any words to you about me? Because remember he took a shot at me on social media during the election.
Right. No, he did
say
not.
anything to you about me?
No.
Yeah, because that was weird. Did he wish you a happy birthday? Chavo?
Yeah.
Actually,
We got poison ivy, dude.
I was actually, to be honest, I was a little bit bothered by that because I thought that me and Chavo were cool.
I don't even remember this. When did this happen?
Don't you remember he called me an idiot or something online and since something, you know, since
Well, that's it for this episode. See y'all tomorrow for AC. Excuse me, ACW store.
You guys know each other, so it's not like
yeah, but it was
no,
it was
Disco
something.
was